Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was an awful lot of war going on, and thousands of people were being killed. No, not exactly a fairy story, is it? Descriptive enough, though, of 1904. Russia and Japan were the main ones this year, to be fair. What with Port Arthur besieged, Seoul occupied, and what have you. In the field of science, Rutherford and Soddy had just postulated their general theory of relativity. The first ultraviolet lamps had appeared, and, well, I imagine this counts as science, but Rolls-Royce had been founded. The first radio transmission of music occurred in Graz, Austria. As for Anton Chekhov, well, he'd only gone and died, hadn't he? Not before issuing The Cherry Orchard, though, and The Lady with the Dog. I'd like you to remember that image. We're going to need it. And here she is. Oh, Lord. Poor old Chekhov would surely be turning in his grave. But for us, there's nothing unusual in this, is there? Yes, yes. Oh. Terribly sorry, this dog has no manners whatsoever. Oh, I'm sorry, but, of course, this was no accident. I wanted you to know how it feels when plates are stamped on and crushed. This sound sets the tone for our entire evening. Let me remind you, we're at the beginning of the last century, 1904. Oh, by the way, Dvorak died in 1904. Musically, there's such a lot going on, so it might be a good idea if I just illustrated two pieces back to back, by way of saying, gosh, weren't there a lot of crazy different styles going on back then? And also by way of skipping the rest out. And you see, that's what I love about classical music. How can you ever think you could tire of it when it can mean Charles Ives's 3 Places in New England, and it can also mean the Dolce Notte from Puccini's Madame Butterfly? Is there any more varied thing on the entire planet? Huh?好听吗？这个音乐特别好听，我喜欢得不得了。
Yes, 1905 saw Arnold Schoenberg's symphonic poem Pelléas und Mélisande premiered in Vienna, and Claude Debussy's La Mer, the Sea, was premiered in Paris. And the beginning of the first Russian Revolution, the clash of the Japanese and Russian squadrons in the Battle of Tsushima, the founding of Las Vegas on May 11th, and, of course, the mutiny on board the Potemkin battleship. Oh, on the 5th of September, Russia and Japan signed the Portsmouth Peace Treaty. The Russo-Japanese War is over.
So, it's 1907. Oscar Wilde has published De Profundis, From the Grave. Picasso has moved from blue to a healthy pink, while Cézanne and Ibsen have, in turn, moved from a healthy pink to a less healthy, earthy brown. That is, they died. Sorry. Tried to break it to you gently. Mahler, though, had time to finish his Symphony No. 8, the gigantic Symphony of 1,000. It calls for virtually all the forces that Mahler could fit on the page. A double-sized chorus, extra male chorus, 7 soloists, and 5 times the number of woodwind. What would symphony composers do after this one? Wagner triggered a whole religion of disciples. Delius was a one-off. He eventually found his voice. A massive life is a vast swirl of Nietzsche's words and Delius's dreamlike, soul-stirring music, and is one of those pieces that should be experienced in a live setting. But today, thank God, we have smartphones. Excuse me. Listen, asshole, I've just started talking.
Stravinsky, Russia's finest.
Shit.
Stravinsky. Russia's finest. Wow. The name alone fires me up. Someone played me the finale to the Suite of the Firebird, and I was just gone. It seemed to me like modern music meets Hollywood ending. I could hear all sorts of things. I could hear someone splashing bucket after bucket of paint everywhere across a wall-sized canvas, creating a sort of Pollock-like painting. I know I'm mixing my eras, but that's what the music seemed to be saying.
Yes, in 1911, Stravinsky was stirring it up again with his music to the ballet Petrushka. It was strong stuff. It's amazing. Must have sounded so weird in 1911. Yep. 1911, by the way, is the year that the Kaiser was speaking rather ominously about Germany's place in the sun. That same year, thank goodness, that 37-year-old Winston Churchill became First Lord of the Admiralty. In China, the Manchu dynasty fell, having been in power since 1644. Wow, and then some. 1644. You see, yes, things always change. Yes, agreed. Aircraft were used in a war offensive for the first time, the Italy-Turkey War, in fact. And, Mahler is dead. Well, yes, actually, of course he died. May 18th, 1911. If you want the same time.
Maurice Ravel would have been 37. A great age for a composer, I would imagine, if you had your health and a good 25 years left in you. And this seems true of Ravel, who did his first work with Diaghilev's Ballet Russe company in 1912. Ravel had some great work under his belt already. Pavane pour une enfant défunte, Jeu d'eau, and Scheherazade. In 1912, he produced what a lot of people see as his greatest ever work, Daphnis and Chloe. Oddly enough, Diaghilev hated it, and indeed the first night audience hated it. And now, while the music of Daphnis and Chloe is playing, and the young people are trying to understand what love is, let us play the game called May I. Imagine you were playing May I. You know that game where you're given an instruction and you have to say May I before you do it. Only in this instance, it's 1912. You're given the instruction, take 2 cavernous nostril breaths. So you breathe in through your nose, 1, 2. So you clear your lungs and take 2 massive cavernous nostril breaths. What would you scent? Well, I'm getting a hint of Lenin and Stalin at Pravda. I'm smelling Woolworth's opening. I'm getting, yes, the rumors of the first parachute jump, and is that Picasso's The Violin? I think it is. Come on, one more time. Breathe in once, twice. I'm getting a frisson of Modigliani. Is it the stone head or woman with long neck? No, it's definitely stone head. And, oh, what's that? I'm getting something else. It's a strange after scent. Oh, it's the Titanic sinking. Oh my word, what a year. That really was something.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Not so much offbeat chords as no-beat chords. Each one a nail in the coffin of the halcyon years. Nobody was expecting that. That's not exactly the music of party hats and snowballs, is it? But to be fair, Stravinsky is really only reflecting on what was going on. 2 Balkan Wars, Gandhi arrested, Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence, A Death in Venice from Thomas Mann, and perhaps, most fittingly, Du Côté de chez Swann, the first part of À la recherche du temps perdu by Proust, written from within the cozy silence of his cork-lined Paris flat.
brave and Tipperary, but my heart's right there. And come your rumbles in your own, grin back and smile, smile, smile.
1914 goes on to produce two of the softest, sweetest moments in all this music we call classical: The Banks of Green Willow and The Lark Ascending, both pieces that could only have been written by Englishmen.
Obviously, in terms of context, war dominates. Last year, battle-wise, it was Meneur, Mons, Tanneberg, Marne, and the first battle of Ypres. This year again, it's Ypres, the four battles of Isonzo, the landings at Gallipoli, the first Zeppelin attacks on London, and the submarine attack on Le Havre. Keeping people sane, or occupied, or both, were films like The Lamb with Douglas Fairbanks, The Tramp with Charlie Chaplin, and even Birth of a Nation by D.W. Griffith. Ivor Novello does his bit with the hit song Keep the Home Fires Burning, while the big books of 15 are John Buchan's The 39 Steps and Somerset Maugham's Of Human Bondage. In art, Raoul Dufy paints his homage to Mozart, Chagall paints the birthday, and Marcel Duchamp comes up with the first canvases.
Caravane, Iolifanto Bambla, O Falibambla, Grossiga Mfa, Habla Horem, Egiga Goromen, Higo Bloiko, Rusula, Hulu, Holaka, Holala. And logo boom, blago boom, blago boom, fataka, e, Shampa, vola, vusa, olobo, hei tatagorem, eshige, zumbada, vulubu, subudu, oluvu, subudu, tumba, kusa, gauma, baum. Yolifanto, bambla, o fali bambla, grossiga, umfa, habla, horem, egiga, goromen, higo, bloiko, russula, hulu, holaka, holala, anlogo, boom, blago, boom, blago, boom, bosso, fataka, e, Shampa, vula, vusa, olobo.
Well, I would concur and posit there is no better place to start than with Parry. Now, Parry was a professor of music at Oxford when he came up with what is a somewhat unfairly interpreted as his one hit, Jerusalem. But we are going to hear another piece of his, I Was Glad, which remarkably accompanied the coronation of King George V in 1911 and Queen Elizabeth II in 1953. While today we crown Marcel Duchamp with his most famous work, the toilet paper rack. Excuse me, the bottle rack, even though nowadays it doesn't really matter. Oh, by the way, 2017 is also the centenary of his other famous work, the urinal. I mean, the fountain. Such is life. Also, the Battle of Verdun took place, and the Somme. And over again, Isonzo, the war just keeps on, keeping on. Elsewhere, James Joyce has just published the semi-autobiographical Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man. Dada is now huge, especially in Zurich. And jazz has broken free of New Orleans and is now sweeping the USA. All that. And Yehudi Menuhin was born. It said the doctor just slapped him on the bottom, but he didn't cry. He just asked for an A note.
Moved in today across the way at number 63.
And he made all his with me. She's got a golden hat, a great big picture hat, and all the boys just call her baby. She's got a dainty style, a little baby smile, the kind that makes you want to stick around a while. She's got those dreamy eyes.
You see, dog years are meant to be like human years, only times 7, something like that. So, you give a small child a puppy, and what happens? Of course, in 7 years' time, the child has progressed by, yes, well done, 7 years. And the dog? Well, officially, the dog is now about 50 or more. And, well, a 50-year-old and a 7-year-old sometimes don't have too much in common, do they? Yes, I'm coming to the point right now. My point is, modern music is the puppy. And the small child? Well, the small child is the audience. The two do not proceed at the same pace. Not at all.